This is Tavis DeSormiers, and have now just become the superintendent at USD 2009, the Sunflower School District. What we know about this district is I've just received word that we have low student achievement. Almost half are below state and national averages for math and reading. We have very unhealthy facilities. The teachers are telling me and the custodial staff are telling me that we have pests throughout the building. We have fecal matter that has been identified. We have the four horsemen, including the mold, mildew, and the moisture issues throughout that are causing a great deal of health problems with our students and our staff. Our staff has low morale right now, many of which are ready to get out of the teaching profession altogether. Students do not feel safe coming to school. They do not feel safe at school, whether it be issues of just simple transportation to and from or walking to school, or the fact that mildew, mold, things like that, difficulty breathing while they're in the facility are happening. The good news is that we know is that teachers are willing to assist with facilities planning and the improvement process. The things that I would need to know or like to know right away are the climate survey was completed in January. It's been a little over 6 months since then. I'd really like to know what has been done by either the board or some of the custodial staff to address some of these issues. I would like to know what our current building maintenance plan is. Do we have one? Do we have a calendar of items that are being addressed? And I would like to know what our budget is for our maintenance that would include capital outlay or the LOB. The things that need to be addressed, obviously, with the facilities are the improvements that is causing hazard issues to the students and staff. We also need to address the test scores. Find out what is being done to improve this right now. And I would also like to know, finally, what stakeholders are involved in either the safety or the security issues. Identifying the problem, put down our poor facilities are restricting our efforts in the classroom and inhibiting our teachers from doing their job effectively. I think that's been throughout the case study so far, clearly evident that our teachers and our students just do not feel safe here. There's lack of community participation, and poor facilities have impeded overall teacher performance. Some of that is me guessing that that's what the teachers are pointing to as a lot of the problem. And there's also teachers and community lack pride. And finally, the biggest problem I have is there seems to be a lack of urgency. Nobody is doing anything about this, it seems like, and people can identify the problem throughout, but it doesn't seem like many are stepping up to the plate and helping to address it. Plan of action, there's several things that we need to look at. First of all, I would create an in-house needs assessment. The first thing I would do is bring in custodial and maintenance staff. I know that test scores are low and things like that, but the fact of the matter is we need to address as many low maintenance items that we can, and there's a sense of urgency in the fact that we need to look at these due to health regulations. We must look at the immediate things that can be addressed with our current resources. Second, we must open the lines of communication to involve stakeholders and community members. Part of this is that we need to involve the community. We need to bring them in. We need to show them some of the things in our building that need to be addressed and ask for their help and try and create partnerships with some of them so that they can help fund our issues, or help fund the needs and the improvements that need to be done. Third, we need to maximize our community resources. Like it's stated in one of the articles that I mentioned before, we need to look at if there's partnerships, one-to-one, things that either is addressed through teachers and the partnership or with students in the partnership, such as recycling efforts or outside classrooms, or things that benefit, obviously, the industry as well as the school. We need to create long-term goals as well through a facility. I'm sorry, create long-term and short-term goals through a facility audit. Take advantage of state programs that will come out and help us facilitate an audit, or contact an organization that is willing to do it, and maybe they would include some of the price cut in doing the audit if we go through one of their services and utilize them. The main thing with this plan of action is that we need to come out and just openly state that we have issues. Don't try to hide anything, and then begin our game plan as to how we're going to resolve these issues. We need to look at success of all students. We need to have pride in the facility. Get rid of the "it's not my job" mentality. Teachers need to step up, as well as students need to be encouraged to have some pride and go around and help with things, whether it's a community appreciation day or anything along those lines, just to clean it up. Take a couple of days, do that, and address some of those severe needs right away. We need to create an environment that is safe for all students. That's pretty obvious, whether it be just their walk to school or it be the facilities themselves. The main thing is that we need to involve the community in this efforts and utilize them. Reflecting on this, the main thing, my thoughts and feelings in looking at this from the get-go, is that the main thing, you do not need to finger point. It's not going to do any good to walk into this position that I've been offered to and start looking at whose fault it is that these things have been neglected for so long. I need to get out into the classrooms and learn about the resources that I have at hand. Get in the classroom, meet with my teachers, talk with them, visit with them, and see what they feel are severe needs, whether it be safety issues or what is needed in the classroom. I also put down that the community and staff will develop a sense of pride if they have ownership. If you get them involved and really get them to be a part of what needs to be done, they'll have some ownership and they'll feel better about themselves. I'm very, very upset about the fact that a lot of people have chosen this profession, and because of my facilities right now and because of poor student performance, that I have several staff members that are wanting to get out of this profession. I would hope that we can change that by allowing them to have ownership in this. I feel like this might change their mentality a little bit. In the category 5, component 1, this is where I am going to reflect on the case, and I have to look at the larger political, social, economical, legal, and cultural context. The first thing I must do is create buy-in from the community and the staff. I've mentioned this several times. The second thing I must do is to identify what resources teachers need to be successful. Is it resources just to clean up the building, or is it stuff that I can provide through staff development? Teachers might not know the best way to reach out to students and get them ready for the 21st century skills for them to be successful. Are we looking at those type of needs? Are we looking at resources need as far as to provide better educational opportunities? The third thing, I must create are goals for our district. I'm a firm believer in goals. I feel like we need to go day to day or month to month. We don't need to set goals for what we're going to look like 10 years from now. I need to visit with my staff and talk to them about the things that they want, that they need, that will make us successful for the next few weeks to come. Go small and then get big. Category 5, Component 2, as a school leader, I must provide a safe environment conducive to learning, and as a school leader, I must utilize community resources and create partnerships. I must do this every single day in everything that I look at. My safe environment has to be created. I have to know state regulations and laws so that I know what is mandated by the state that I must do right away. But in the end, I believe that by creating partnerships, we can bring, I've mentioned before about bringing staff in, or bringing community members in, I'm sorry, into the classrooms and letting them see firsthand what our needs are and what needs to be addressed. You have to be careful with this, because there are times that you bring people in and, like the letter suggested early on, it gives them an opportunity to be able to write in and complain and say what's wrong with our school. But really, they need to see what is right with it, and we need to build from there. Last thing with category 3, component 3, is as the school leader, I must understand and regulate the maintenance items that must be addressed to be in accordance with the state regulations. I also need to get in the classroom so I can see firsthand. I can then invite the community members to observe as well. This is all very important. The main thing is to get out there and be seen and get your hands dirty. Be involved in these cleanup efforts. I think if you model this behavior to your staff and to your community, and they see that you yourself are taking pride in this, they will get involved and they will back you. A lot of this has to do with the amount of money that we have set aside for these projects, and then be able to maintain them. Like one of the articles I mentioned before, it states about how every dollar you spend in maintenance, preventative maintenance, is equal to about $30 in money that you would have to spend to repair an item. Building an effective paper trail so that we can regulate the amount of money and the amount of time and the amount of occurrences that occur by creating the paper trail to go through all of the items that need to be done, I think will help in the long run to develop a calendar so that we can have and work with our maintenance staff to show what is being done, how much time it takes, and the cost for all of this. I'm excited about this position, and I can't wait to get started.